We are in St. Lucia and we are spending the next week here and giving you our top 15 things to do while in St. Lucia. So yeah, we're starting out in Rodney Bay and working our way down to Soufrière.
Yeah, so there is a ton of things to do here, so it's kind of tough to narrow it down. However, we picked 15 things that we really enjoyed. If you stay tuned till the very end of the video, we're going to have all the honorable mentions at the end of things that we didn't visit, but you could definitely add to your itinerary.
Yeah, and things that we wanted to do but didn't either make time for it or couldn't afford it.
Yeah, and I would highly suggest, if you're a good driver, to look into getting a rental car, just because otherwise you're going to miss out on seeing a lot of cool things here. The driving's a little chaotic, especially if you're not used to driving on the left side of the road.
I was going to say, that being said, make sure if you are going to rent a car that you are a competent driver. If you are nervous, and I've said this in past videos too, I wouldn't recommend driving. Yeah. Just because you need to be competent. The roads are narrow. You drive on the opposite side unless you're from a country that also drives on the left-hand side. Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, let's get into our 15 top things to do in St. Lucia. Pigeon Island is a great spot if you're looking for somewhere to hike and get some physical activity in.
They are open from 9:30 until 5 every day of the week.
Yep.
Go earlier in the morning. We got here around noon and it is stinking hot outside.
Yeah, we are dying.
Yeah.
It's about $10 US per person to get in. They do offer guided tours for an additional cost as well if you want to do that.
But we just walked by ourselves and it was totally fine. Everything is well, like there's signs everywhere. There's 2 hikes that you can do, like 2 peaks.
Yep, the first one that we went to is Fort Rodney and the second one is Signal Peak. They're both pretty high, intense climbs. Signal Peak is a lot worse.
Yes.
The rocks up there can get pretty rough, so if you're not super confident in climbing up them, maybe avoid it.
But the views
are amazing.
Yeah, worth it.
Spectacular. Another cool note is they do have Wi-Fi throughout the whole park for free, so that's really nice. It's easy to find your way around. And when you finish up, there is an interpretation center or museum. They have some really cool sculptures in there, some artifacts that were found here.
Yeah, because it's a national park now, but it used to be a battlegrounds between the French and the English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really neat spot. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're up this way.
Yeah. We just finished hiking up Mount Pimard and oh my gosh, it was not easy. So yesterday we did Pigeon Island, and if you had to choose between the two, it depends on what you're looking for. Pigeon Island is definitely more accessible, it's easier, but Mount Pimard has stunning views. So if you want to try this hike, just make sure that you are up for a challenge and make your way down to Mount Pimard. You'll see it on Apple Maps or Google Maps, and then from there it'll take you to a dirt parking lot at the beach, and you park there and then you walk to the left of the fish shack. It kind of looks like you're just walking up a road, but then once you get to the end of the road, you'll see the trailhead and then you start the hike there. My only recommendation is to make sure, 1, you have water. 2, if it has rained the night before or it's raining that day, I wouldn't suggest the hike because there are some really steep hill climbs and there's some sections that have rope to get up on a rock face, and if it's even slightly wet, it becomes extremely slippery. So we lucked out. It was pretty dry today, so we made it up the whole thing. We did see a couple that advised that some parts can be slippery, so yeah.
After you finish up your hikes, if you're looking for somewhere to cool down in the Rodney Bay area, Redwee Beach is fantastic, which is also the home of Splash Island Waterpark. There's 2 parts of Redwee Beach. There's the quieter end, which is where you're going to do the hike to Mount Pimard. Marie's Fish Shack is there. There's also a floating 420 bar which sells cocktails and smoothies. Or if you're looking for beer, you can get it at Marie's Fish Shack. And then as well, it's a little busier down at the other end of the beach. There's more restaurants, A lot of them have a happy hour special, and that's also where you're going to find Splash Island Waterpark. So we did the Splash Island Waterpark. I think it was 10 or 15 US per person per hour, and it's basically a big floating water park. They've got all kinds of different inflatable stuff to play with. It's great. An hour was plenty for us. We were exhausted after that, mainly because we just did the hike before. But it's great. If you're looking for something fun to do on the beach, I'd definitely go check it out. Rodney Bay Marina is a great spot to stop and grab a bite to eat right in Rodney Bay. There's quite a bit of parking too, so there's no problem there. It's easy to get to.
And parking is free too, which is great. But there's quite a few options for restaurants. There's a couple under renovation right now, so there should be even more shortly.
Yeah.
There's gelato and ice cream too, which is great.
Yeah, we ate at Sea Salt Cafe and it was fantastic. The prices were pretty good and the location's amazing.
Our
Beautiful
food was
views.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He got a pulled pork. I had a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah, so it's a good spot to stop. Lots of restaurant options. There's a duty-free wine and liquor store as well, and I believe there's a little deli here too. So a couple shops you can take a look at. There's also a bank if you need to take cash out.
Yep.
It's a good spot to pull in and take some out.
Yeah, it's not somewhere where you're going to spend like half of your day, but if you need a quick bite to eat or you just want to walk around somewhere, it's a great spot.
Yeah. On our way to Soufriere, we stopped at the Castries Market, which is on, I believe, every day, but Saturdays it's the big day for it, when it's at its busiest. There's a ton of local vendors, all kinds of different stuff here.
Yeah, like fruits and vegetables and spices and liquor and
souvenirs,
a
little bit of everything.
Clothing, yeah, a little bit of everything.
There is a lot of repeat vendors, like you'll find the same thing at a lot of vendors, so you can kind of shop around and figure out where you're going to get your best price, and you can haggle a little bit if you want. But it's a cool little stop. It's not that busy even on a Saturday. We found parking no problems. So yeah. We're working our way down. Our next stop is Marigot Bay.
Yep.
So we're going to head there now. Marigot Bay is a stunning stop if you have a little bit of extra time to spare, or if you're planning to stay here for a couple days as well.
We would have loved to stay here. We never really considered it, but looking back, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it would have been really nice. It's a very, very small area. Parking was no problem. Basically, once you park, you're on one side, and to get over to the beach and Doolittle's restaurant, which is where we ate and had a drink, there's a free ferry that'll take you if you're going to Doolittle's. Otherwise, it's $2 if you're just going to the beach.
And it was fantastic. We spent probably around 2 hours here.
Yep.
We took the ferry over, we went and ate and chillaxed a little bit and came back. We're walking around on this side now. Parking was free. We parked, I don't know how to describe where we parked.
It's a dirt lot.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's even worth a stop just to come and look at it. It is stunning. Like some of the most
so pretty.
Beautiful water I've seen anywhere. The scenery is gorgeous. It's very peaceful in here. We had a great time. I saw some mixed reviews online. I didn't agree with any of them. I've enjoyed our stay thoroughly.
Yeah.
So
people were nice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a stop if you have the time to fit it in.
Yeah.
Soufriere Drive-In Volcano, in our opinion, is a must-visit stop. It's in the exact same destination as the Sulphur Springs mud bath. You can do them individually, or they also have a combo for $15 which gives you access to both.
Yep. Doing the volcano is about 15-20 minutes. Maybe 30, because at first you go up and you watch like a short film. They have a small like museum.
Yep, the interpretation center. They've got like a museum, a 5-minute video you watch there.
And then you go down to the actual volcano site, and you have to do it guided. Did you say that?
Yep.
Okay. But it's super informative. They give you all the backstory, a lot of scientific information, and it stinks.
Yeah, it is sulfur, so it doesn't smell fantastic, but you get used to the scent, and it's worth it for the views. It's so cool to see. You can see all the mud bubbling out of the ground. It was a volcano at one point, and essentially it collapsed and turned into a caldera. So
yeah, and on a rainy day, so it was sunny this morning, but it rained this afternoon, and there's way more steam that gets produced on a rainy day, so it's really interesting if you if you luck out and get to come in the rain too. Piton Falls is a bit of a hidden gem. One of the employees at our hotel told us about it this morning. I'd already heard about it, I hadn't looked into it too much, but it's a really cool spot and it's super budget friendly. I think it's $7.50 ECD per person, or $6 US, she said. Unfortunately, they were... No, $3 US, 6 total.
Yeah. Okay. They were cleaning out the baths while we were there, so we didn't get a chance to swim in them.
There was one bath open, but there was one other family there, which, like, considering it's the weekend, it was pretty quiet with only one other family and us there, which was nice. I did get to go under the waterfalls though, and it was so nice. It kind of threw me off at first because it was warm, and I'm not used to stepping under a warm waterfall. They're usually freezing cold. Yeah, they're really cool. There's 3 mineral baths. Stunning location, like very beautiful. And we only spent maybe, I don't know, 20-30 minutes here. Yeah, it's about a 10-minute hike in. Yeah. And then you can spend as long as you want in them. They'd be fantastic when they're full, so and if we get a chance, we'll come back and check them out. And the best part about Souffrière is that all the stops are like relatively close together. Like, this was a 6-minute drive from the mud baths. The mud baths are right beside the volcano. Sugar Beach was actually on the way. Like, everything in this vicinity is just so close, so you can do so many things in one day. Another fantastic waterfall to add to your list is the Chorel waterfall. It took us about 20-30 minutes again, and it was super cheap. Like, what? It was $3 US per person. Yeah. Great quick stop to add. There's a little bit of parking right beside it, a bit of a dirt lot. They also have washrooms on site and a little bar that serves some drinks. Yep. So it's gorgeous. You can go and walk right under the waterfall. There's quite a bit of pressure. Not even a 5-minute walk in. No, it's super quick. And it's about 10 minutes out of town. Yeah, you can go right under the waterfall, which is really neat. Maybe don't rush into it because there's quite a bit of pressure, but you can stand right under it. Yeah, it might be a little bit less. It rained this morning, so I think it was stronger. Yeah, it's beautiful. The scenery is stunning. So I mean, if you got $3 to spare in 20 minutes, it's definitely worth the stop. So this spot is kind of a 3-for-1 deal. This is Diamond Falls Botanical Gardens, waterfall, and mineral bath. Yep, I didn't know where you were going with that, but I'm following. Yeah, so it is, I believe, $7 US for entry into the Botanical Gardens and waterfalls, $7 for the private baths, which is what we did, and $6 for the public bath. Yeah, US. Yeah. So I didn't realize when we booked them, the private baths are indoor. There's 2 separate tubs, so if you're doing it as a couple, it's great. You get your own 2 little private tubs, so you can sit beside each other. Change room. Yeah, they are indoors though. The public ones are the ones that are outdoors. So if you're looking to be outdoor, that's the one you're going to want to book. And it doesn't really matter. It's mostly preference because it's only $1 difference between the 2. Exactly. So I guess it's just, whatever you prefer. The waterfalls here, you cannot go in. You can just view them.
They are stunning though, very pretty. And botanical gardens are gorgeous. They're really well labeled. So many pretty flowers and plants in there. It's great. It's really worth a stop. It's one of the prettiest spots we've been so far. So I'd highly recommend it. And it's pretty central. Everything in Soufrière is really close together. So
yeah.
Tetball Nature Trail is absolutely breathtaking. You can hike the pitons as well, but this is where you're going to get the best views of.
And this is only a 45-minute hike. Yeah. And the pitons are like between 4 and 6 hours. Yeah. And they are strenuous and they are very difficult, apparently. Whereas this gives you like a 360-degree view of 1/4 of the island is what one of the guides was saying, and it was about $10 US to get to do the trail.
Yeah, per person, and it includes an optional guide as well.
Yep.
And there's parking right here on site. When you get up around the top where we are right now, there's a little shack that's got souvenirs. They have refreshments, so you can check that out. I picked up some of their local hot sauce here because it's so good. So to get down to Sugar Beach, there is a parking lot inside for guests and visitors about halfway down to the beach. So that would cut your walk down to about 15 minutes. Alternately, if it's full like it was when we arrived here, you'll have to park outside of the resort entrance road, and it's about a 25-minute walk down the hill. It's pretty far, it's steep. Unfortunately, that was our only option since we're here a little late in the afternoon. But there was parking for about $2 US. So to get back up, if you go to the restaurant or bar at the resort, purchase any food or drinks and keep your receipt.
Which is our plan.
Yes, you can get a shuttle back up to the top when you're finished. So I'd highly recommend that because it is a long, steep walk. And I'm sure after this walk and our time at the beach, we're not going to be wanting to walk 25 minutes uphill back to the car.
Yeah, no. Must do is staying in a resort with views of the pitons, and bonus points if it has an infinity pool too.
Yeah, this one is absolutely breathtaking.
We are staying at La Haute Resort, or it's also a B&B, I think.
Yeah.
But we have a gorgeous infinity pool where we get to see the ocean and we get to see the pitons, and it's a view that I've never experienced before. Yeah,
the pool at this resort is down at the owner's house, so it's a bit of a walk from the hotel. But my goodness, it is one of the most beautiful pools that I've ever swam in. The views are absolutely stunning, and the pool itself is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
So we would definitely recommend, if you're staying in the Soufrière area, find a resort or a hotel that's got really nice views of the Piton, because waking up to these views every morning is just so peaceful.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the time we don't really care that much about where we stay, because we know we won't be in the room a lot or at the resort a lot, but we found, because everything was so close, especially in Soufrière, that we actually had a lot of extra time to spend here, so it was nice having a nice place to hang out at.
Yeah.